Hello everyone. Good morning. I hope everyone can hear me. Wow, I feel like it's been forever since we had another live stream. Wow. Okay, so I'll try to, keep it simple for today. So we had CPI. The main things that draw my attention for today are the fact that gold swept the buy side liquidity here above 31.37, and the fact that we have this SMT divergence here. This one, gold creating higher high, silver creating lower high, rejecting from a pre-existing 1 hour fair value gap. On the 5 minutes, I honestly love the way it looks. I took a trade a little earlier on the 1 minute. Already took profit, and I'm holding like a small runner. Very small. Just so you guys know, since I've had my funded account reset after the last payout, it's been a little wild. The reason for that is because gold has these crazy ranges, and I can't open my normal lot size, because if I would do that, then I would risk way more than my normal 1% per trade. And I don't want that. So lately, my trades have been like pretty small because I don't have a choice. So the trade that I took a little earlier was 0.45. So less than half a contract. And that was because otherwise I would have had a stop loss that would have been too big. Too big considering that it was just CPI. And because my stop loss initially was up here above that candle. Okay. So I would have had a stop loss of 50 pips. And if I would have opened my normal standard lot, then yes, I would have risked 1%. However, I didn't want to do that from, with the first trade that I took today. Now, I like the way price, what happened? I like the way price went above the CPI candle. So right now I'm expecting that if it's going to break under this low over here, that's going to be my undeniable, how should I call it? My undeniable proof that most likely price is going to go lower. I'm just going to remove some of the drawings that I have here. All right. So yeah. We also had, like in here, it's a lot more visible on the 1 minute. And also the reason why I took the trade that you see here is because we had this SMT divergence above the CPI candle, above that old SMT buy side liquidity, and then price created this bearish fair value gap over here, the 925 fair value gap. So we had SMT, which was later where gold took out buy side liquidity, and then it was a few minutes after that the SMT was confirmed by this fair value gap. Price tapped into it by just a little bit and then started meandering around. I didn't enter right away when this 927 candle started to reject because we were still inside this BISI, the 922 BISI. And I wanted some sort of a sign that the price actually would be willing to you know, invalidate that BISI. So my entry actually was during this candle, during 931 candle. After 930 closed, strong, bearish, turning 929 into a bearish order block the way I see it. And initially stop loss was up there, and then after it went 1 hour in my favor, I moved stop loss just at the midpoint of this untapped order block, the 924 candle, this one over here. So right now I'm holding a small runner, which is for now like 60 pips in profit, but the runner is very small and it's locked at break even. So if it's just gonna go more in my favor, then so be it, and if not, then it is what it is. Now, what am I looking for the current price action? A little hard to say. The reason for this is because I love the way it swept buy side. Also having like a 1 hour SMT divergence, indicating possibly indicated that this move to the upside on gold was, you know, more like a liquidity sweep, and not and the buy side is not being ran, so it's not liquidity run, it's more like liquidity sweep. The thing that makes me not necessarily want to trust the fact that it's just gonna go down yet is the fact that it has bearish SMT, but also bullish SMT right here. So I'll just wait for a little more confirmation, which, yeah, I'll see how that should look like. Because for now, I don't really know. Okay, so what I want to do next is I just want to mark the liquidity that was created today, because I haven't done that yet. I think this is M5. Okay, so if you guys have questions, you know, you can just pop them in the chat, and I'll just keep an eye on the chat to see if you guys need you know, answers or any help. So I would really love to see gold rebalance that city on the 5 minutes and then just reject off of it. But before that, yeah, I was in the process of marking the SMTs that were created today. So you guys just bear with me, because I haven't marked the SMTs yet. So there is also this which doesn't really seem like an SMT, but you see how silver swept the low of Asia, whereas the low of Asia on gold is all the way down here. I'm curious to see whether, okay, so price rejected on gold. So we had this Asia range, right? And then this is clearly a pullback. And then it rejected off of the 50% level. And look at silver. Just look at silver, okay? Definitely inclining more towards sells. We just need a confirmation on gold for that. Okay, what's this? Okay, so there is sell side here. Okay. All right. Of course, I wouldn't want to see silver be the one to take out the sell side liquidity that it created. Maybe even come inside the 1 hour BISI that you can see marked in here. And without gold actually showing any sign of rejection, you know? Okay, so we've got this over here as SMT. And also this area. What's that? 3103.50, something like that. Guys, can you hear me well, or am I talking like do you need me to talk louder? Because I have no idea if you guys can hear me. Okay, so it seems that you can hear me. Boom, boom, boom. 52 people watching. Nice. Maybe we can uplift that like button just a little bit. Just a little bit, you guys. Okay, so here's like a lot of times you guys hear me say that I want to see this happening and I want to see that happening. Here's what I don't want to see happening right now. What I don't want to see happening is I don't want to see silver. Hold on, while I'm just gonna take a trade here. All right, so here's what I don't want to see it doing. So I got filled at 31, 23, 49, 21, 31, 23, 49. Sort of like here. So what I don't want to see it do, I don't want to see silver being the one to sweep the sell side here, maybe reach into the 1 hour CB without gold also doing that. Okay, so I definitely don't want that. So we got a tap of that 2762, 2768. Okay, so we got a tap of that ooh, look at it go. We got a tap of that 5-minute fair value gap and a rejection. Okay, so now what I'm going to look for is I want to keep an eye on the 1 minute. And the reason why I want to do this is because I don't want silver to start rejecting from this sell side, because right now it is still in an SMT, okay? Because look at silver, look at what it's doing, right? And I don't want gold to be the one to not move while silver is dropping. Because if silver reaches this area here, including the 1 hour fair value gap, which is Just about to hit right now. And if it's going to start to reject, that's not going to be a good thing, okay? It's not going to be a good thing because, yeah, simply will not be a good thing. And so let's just see. So potential to R would be, okay, the 50% level there, 3103. That would be like a 2R. So again, I'm just going to keep monitoring the 1 minute because right now it's really important what silver will do on the 1 minute. Okay? Under any circumstance, I don't want to see silver starting to reject. Under any circumstance. Okay, so we don't want to see bullish candles starting to print on silver. I don't want to see that. So gold just took out minor SMT sell side here. Okay. Ooh, yeah, baby. Come on. Okay. Now, again, this area also, if it breaks this low over here, okay, that's the low that was created after CPI. So CPI went up and then it started to move down. Pretty relevant move, right? From here all the way down to here. And then price broke the high of CPI candle into an SMT, into buy side liquidity. All right, so right now, if we break this low, then it means that all this push to the upside above the CPI high was no more than just a fake out, okay? Liquidity sweep. And in order for that to be the case, we should start to see gold looking to expand lower under that low. Now I'm also gonna mark, oh, it's already marked. Okay, this minor SMT area here. I'm out at break even. Out at break even. I don't like the reaction. Actually out with a small loss of 10 pips. I don't like the reaction that it's having. It shouldn't really have this type of reaction. And I don't like the fact that silver is creating bullish candles after reaching into that fair value gap. Okay, so got out at break even, and I'll see whether I can re-enter. But for now, whatever's doing, it's not supposed to do this. What will completely, absolutely completely invalidate my short trade idea, like absolutely completely, is going to be if price goes above this high again. Okay, if it breaks this high, nothing will make me think that it will want to go down again. Like absolutely nothing. Now I'm sad somewhat that I didn't take any profit because I was 70 pips in profit with that trade. And I'm a little sad. It didn't have a lot of profit on it. It had like around $270, but I didn't take anything of that. So anyway. See, this type of reaction, it shouldn't happen. It's probably going to break above that high, and it's going to completely invalidate any short trade idea. I mean, if it does that, then that's a thing. That's definitely a thing. Because the reaction it's having right now is just insane. Still somewhat rejecting from the, what was that? 925 SIBI on the 1 minute. Somewhat. We'll see. We'll see if it does that. But like I said, if it breaks above that high, then it's not a good idea to look for shorts anymore. Because the news went up and then it came down and then it broke the high of the news and it broke the low of the news. So after it breaks again the high of the news, this is nothing more than just the, how's that called? Oh my God. Seek and destroy. Yeah. Nothing more than just seek and destroy. Yeah. So it broke that high. Right now, sort of like invalidating the short trade idea. But it's still in an SMT. If you guys can see that at the highs right now. It's really, really weird. Really weird. Next buy side area is all the way up to 3167.50. So yeah. Yeah, so right now the short trade idea completely invalid right now. Honestly, it just completely doesn't make sense right now for short. And look at how it used the previous M5 Sibi as this one, okay? How it used that as an inversion, like so. Yeah, impeccable price action. And now imagine if silver is also going to start to move higher. And break this area over here. This. That would really make a lot of sense. Wow, it's really going. Yeah. So if you'd ask me how to enter right now, I wouldn't know what to say. Honestly, I wouldn't. Because honestly, personally, I'm not equipped, like, I don't know, mentally, or I don't know how to say. I'm not equipped to enter when the market is in strong momentum. If it doesn't make pullbacks, I'm not equipped to enter, honestly, and I'd rather not enter if the market isn't making any sort of pullback. Even though I'm well aware of the fact that usually when it's in a strong momentum, it's likely going to continue, and the best opportunities to enter are going to be like bullish fair value gaps. Like every bullish fair value gap that it creates, taps into, and then rejects off of it and closes above it. Technically speaking, that would be a good opportunity to enter, but I'm still not comfortable to do that when it comes to the 1 minute, because it might actually be looking, for example, to rebalance. Like I'm going to enter long after it rejects from this 1 minute BISI, and what if it actually is then going to start to move a little lower, and in order to rebalance like a 5 minute BISI, for example. So I'd rather not have that kind of approach, you know, because like I said, I'd rather not do that. I'd rather not have that kind of entry. Just waiting. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying here in the chat. Potential for a 5 minute time frame, long SMT, seek and destroy. Yeah, this is what I've been doing since Tuesday. Been seeing a lot of this type of reaction all week. Got my 3% on Monday and have been sitting still since then. Yeah, it's the best way. The smartest thing to do when you're close to hitting a payout and you reach like an amount of money that is, you know, relevant enough for you. Just, you know, stick to that amount. There's literally no reason why you would just keep on trading after hitting a certain amount of money that is reasonably decent for you and you're close to your payout. And even if you're not close to your payout, it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, it doesn't make sense to keep risking the profit that you made. Don't know why, maybe the tariffs or something. Yeah, someone says, look at this healthy 15-minute candle. Yeah, that's a hell of a candle. It's really good. Good looking candle. Is there any chances that the market is going to make a new all-time high today? That would be awesome. Also want to pay attention to silver tapping that area here. my god, I'm sorry if you guys hear something. It's my cat. One of my two cats. Hey, shut up. My god. She's asking for attention, I'm assuming. No, I don't think it's going to make a pullback into like a 5-minute fair value gap, honestly. I don't think it's going to do that. Yeah, just like I said, I never thought it was going to do it. So today might be one of those days but I made like bits of profit. It's fine. I also took a long earlier on London. Again, small profits because this is what I'm all about these last days, ever since it started moving crazy like this. Because I also have like some more expenses coming the next few months, and I just want to make sure that I'm just putting money in my pocket and not giving it back to the market. So I had a win here, and this one was like 10 pips loss. So I got stopped out. I closed the trade at 31.23.28. So 23.28. 23.28. Minor loss. Come on. And my entry was 23.49. So 23.49. Oh no, I said 10 pips. Actually, I had a 0.30 minus $28 profit. That's how much? 1 pip? Oh yeah, it's 1 pip. 2 pips, something like that. Okay. I thought it was 10 pips. I don't know why. Weird. Oh no, that's my stop loss, but it didn't. Yeah, okay. 24.43. 24.43. Oh my god. Someone should actually teach me how to read this. 24.43, something like this. That's where I close the trade, but I'm going to consider it like a full loss, because if it's just because somehow managed to move stop loss or break even, that it didn't take more. Okay. I got funded with FundedNext just before the weekend, waiting for a good setup to go for a payout. Very well, wait for a good setup. Baba Yaga asking, hello ma'am, I bought a funded challenge from TFD. What should be ideal lot size to pass my funded account? So the lot size doesn't matter. Your lot size should always be dynamic depending on the size of your stop loss. So for example, you said you got a 25K account, okay? So if you got a 25K account, let's say you don't want to risk, and you shouldn't want to risk more than 1% per trade, okay? So 1% out of 25K means $250. So you don't want to risk more than $250, right? So this means that if you have, for example, like a 50 pip stop loss, okay, 50 point stop loss, in this case, to make sure that you're not going to lose more than $250 with the 50 points or pips or whatever you want to call it, stop loss, you should open how much? Like half a contract, okay, 0.5, right? For example, if your stop loss would be like 100 pips, okay, then so if your stop loss would be 100 pips, 100 points, whatever, in order for you to make sure that you're not going to risk more than $250, which is again 1% from your $25,000 account, you should open like 0.25, so a quarter of a full lot size. Okay, so your lot size should be the one that changes depending on your stop loss size. Normally, what I did with all my challenge accounts, and also every time I was trading for a payout, was the following thing. Usually gold is it used to move normally. So normally to me it means average daily range of around 300 pips. Okay? That's what gold used to do. That's what it used to look like. So if you go to the daily chart, okay, and we're going to look at normal price action, for example, all this piece of price action over here, okay, you can see clear bullish momentum, okay, undeniably. However, the candles look normal. So for example, this candle was 370 pips, okay? The average daily range, like the daily range. This other candle, this one, was 387, 80, 84, 85, okay? So again, close. This candle, for example, this one was 400, okay? So around 300 to 400 pips average daily range for gold, including like around here when it was consolidating, okay? So for example, that candle, 350 something pips, okay? This one, for example, this one, like was that February 10th, all right? So that's around 480, okay, a little bigger, but then things just came back to normal. For example, February 12th, okay, 390, 400. So again, average daily range, bottom line is that average daily range did not exceed 500 pips. It was around 300 to 400 pips. Okay? Now, the thing is that lately, and when I say lately, I say like last week or so, ever since the crazy Trump tariffs, whatever, okay, the average daily range is like insane. For example, April 3rd, okay, from the high till the low, where is it? Okay, till around here. That's, you guys, that's 1,140 pips in one single day. That's like 3 to 4 times more than usual. Okay? The next day, April 4th, from the high of the candle till the low of the candle, 1,200 pips. 12,000 points means 1,200 pips. Insane. Again, 3 to 4 times more than the normal average daily range. The next one, 1,000 pips. Okay? The next one, this one, I don't know what happened here on April 8th, but that was like a normal day because it only had like 470 pips. Like, I don't know what happened. Then the next one, April 9th. Like, you guys, that was 1,300 fucking pips in one single day. And today, the day is not over yet, okay? And it's already 800 pips. And yeah, it is like there is a big chance that it's just going to create a new all-time high, which means that it's just going to go around 1,000 pips again for the range of this day. So obviously, because the ranges have increased in value, not in value, but in length and size so much, it didn't make sense for me to keep on opening my normal one standard lot or around. Like I would normally open, because usually for a 5-minute setup, more or less, my stop loss was around, 50 pips or so. 40 pips, 50 pips, 60 pips, something like that, right? So if I would normally have the average of my stop loss size for a 5-minute setup, let's say the average would be 50 pips, then the average size of my positions would be one standard lot or around that value, right? Sometimes I had, for example, 30 to 40 pips stop loss, which was 10% of the average daily range. And yes, I would open 1.2 standard lots or 1.3 or sometimes 1.5, right? But all the time, I would risk $500, maybe $600 per trade, which is 1.2% out of my entire account size, right? My balance. But right now, I can't do that because setups which used to have a stop loss of around 50 pips right now have more than 100 pips stop loss. So I cannot trade my normal one standard lot or ish, right? Because then I would risk more than 2% on one single trade. And I definitely don't want to do that, right? So that's why, since the average daily range of gold has increased 3 to 4 times within the last week, okay, because it was usually 3 to 400 pips, and right now it's 1,000 to 1,200 pips, so it's 3 to 4 times bigger than usual. What I did is what every normal or every good trader would do, is just decrease my lot size by 3 or 4 times, to make sure that I'm still going to keep the same risk of around 1%, maybe even less. Because what I've noticed is that lately, within the last week, the fills of my orders haven't been so great with FundedNext. And I don't think that it's an isolated thing with FundedNext. I think that it's something probably that a lot of prop firms have gone through. And I'm not talking like futures prop firms. I'm talking like CFDs, Forex. So yeah. Yeah. 。 maybe we could get, because I can see that it's actually just making this little, you know, this little accumulation area here. Maybe we could have a sweep of that into a 5-minute BISI, retest that, which right now I see it as a bullish breaker, and then have like a long entry. But look, silver. See, it swept that minor buy side liquidity. Also still into the 1-hour SIBI here. And this was, I think it was a 5-minute, a 15-minute. Okay. 15-minute SIBI, this one over here. And the reason why I marked that one is because on the 15 minutes, it's because it's the last bearish fair value gap that was created prior to breaking this low. Why that low here, this low? Why this low on the 15 minutes? It's simple, because that low was a rejection from a BISI, and it created a higher high. So right now that BISI in here became an inversion, a bearish inversion fair value gap. Okay. So technically speaking, this low over here, it's like a, let's say bearish breaker, whatever. The thing is that nothing guarantees right now that price on gold might not actually, not on gold, but on silver, just rebalance this inversion and then move higher. But if it does that, I would still want to see it into some form of SMT, at least on the 1 minute. Okay. But you see, this is what I don't like with buying so close to the high, okay? Like this would be a perfect valid entry for me at this point. Perfect valid entry for a long. Perfect valid entry for a long. But what I don't like about it is the fact that it's very close to highs, to like, it's at the top of the last move, you know, right at the top of the last move. So you have an inception fair value gap, rejecting off of the 1020 and then creating another BISI 1030. It's hard to trade this kind of price action, honestly. Really hard. Really, really hard. Hard from a psychological perspective, like at least for me, okay? I'm not gonna, you know, be like a, I don't know, brag about the fact that, oh, well, I can actually trade whatever. It's really not the case. Like, I'm also susceptible to, you know, emotions and but yeah, perfectly valid entry. Just that it's right at very close to the daily, like the top that it created today. Like I'm buying in premium. I'm not comfortable with doing that. That's why I said a little earlier that emotionally speaking, I'm not equipped to trade when price is in heavy momentum. I'm not, honestly. I'm just not. So yeah, it is what it is. So I'm not sure what I did, but somehow I removed the messages of a user on the chat, and I didn't want to do that. So if you guys know how I can bring them back, please let me know. Okay? Yeah, just keep on going higher. And honestly, I don't regret a thing. Like, I'm not sorry for not entering when I said that it was a completely valid entry for me. Like, here. Also, this rejection candle, 1030. But not really. More like, okay, I'm just going to be honest about it. 1036, that would have been, because we had the SMT here. Okay, and then I need a rejection on silver to coincide with a rejection from the BISI on gold. So it would have been 1036 candle. So when I got the confirmation, right, my trade would look like this. No, sorry, not this. Long. Like that. Okay, like that. And you can see the stop loss, like 31.50 for the entry, 31.46. Okay, not that much, like 60 pips. Not too much, okay? Not too much. It's actually decent, I would say. Oh my god, shut up. It's my kitty cat. My comments about FundedNext versus FTMO, someone's asking in the chat. I can't say anything about FTMO because I never traded FTMO. But what I can say about FundedNext is that I like them. They seem to have a pretty solid business, especially because they're also going to launch. I think it's going to be. Oh my God! Shh. I think on April 17, if I'm not wrong, they're going to launch their futures service division, whatever. And it really means that they're bringing in new services, which means that, it's a good thing when a prop firm does that, because it basically means that they are looking to improve their services, expand, and whatever, So yeah, it's a good thing. But about FTMO, I can't say anything because I never traded with them. But, they have a pretty solid reputation in the industry. And I think that should matter a lot. And if you're looking to, trade with FTMO, I think it would be a good idea. Oh my God. See, this is the reason why I wouldn't feel comfortable to buy when I have a confirmation close to the highs, the top, or whatever you want to call it, It just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. Oh my God. Shh. My cat. Jesus. You guys, I think I'm done waiting for any sort of setup whatsoever. Make sure to like the stream, you guys. Like honestly, 30. Actually, let me just refresh the live stream here. 51 people watching, 41 likes. Come on, we can do better than that. Yeah, so I think I'm not gonna keep on waiting for a setup because I'm hungry, first of all. And second, if I didn't enter till this hour, I'm probably not gonna enter anymore. Because, like, if I'm not in this trade right now, I'm not gonna enter. Because, you know, it's just getting late. And we're getting very close to the lunch break. Because it's 11, almost 11 a.m. New York. And yeah, I just don't trade past 11:30, something like that. It just doesn't make sense for me to keep on trading after that hour. Also because it's in my country, like it's already 6 p.m. here. So yeah, I guess I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow's Friday. So yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a live stream, 4 p.m. Okay. Okay, guys, thank you for being here. And yeah, talk to you guys tomorrow.